I just gave Claude Cowork full access to my company's documents. It pulls the right chunks, cited sources, and answers questions about the data that lives only in my Supabase account. And I didn't write a single line of backend code. Claude Cowork actually built the whole backend itself, using 3 edge functions, 2 secrets, and 1 connector. In the next 20 minutes, I'm walking you through every step, and if you've tried connecting Claude Cowork to Supabase and gotten nothing useful back, this is the gap that you're missing. Let's get into it. If you're new here, my name's Amadou, and I run an AI agency where we build these types of AI systems for clients. And this is something that I personally use in my business. Let's go. So if you've been using Claude Cowork, you've noticed that there is a Supabase tool that you can connect. And you're probably wondering what's the point of even having this video if there's already a Supabase tool. So I'm going to demonstrate exactly where the limitations are with the Supabase tool when it comes to querying from a vector database and how this current step-by-step process is going to enhance that. So what I have here, I've already outlined the specific project my Supabase tool should connect to and what table. So I'm going to ask it a question. What are our code review requirements? So upon asking the question, Cowork showed that there was no rows in the database, but that's actually false. But when I pointed it to actually use the vector database, it retrieved that there was actually rows. So what happens when you connect the basic standard integration of Supabase? So it executes SQL queries that essentially look for keywords within your current PDF or Word docs. So it's looking for code review, pull requests, PR review, things of that nature. So just using a standard SQL query to pull basically a command F on the documents in the database. And then basically it's able to retrieve what would be, upon first glance, a reasonable answer, right? So when you would look at this, you would think that, oh, this is pretty much all I need. But we're going to dive deeper into a second question that would point out the actual flaws in this approach. So the next question I'm going to ask it are, what is the policy on our time off? So in the documents in the database, there's only PTO as the keyword listed, and time off isn't actually used in the actual documents. So if this is going to happen correctly, it's going to only use time off as a keyword indicator in the SQL database, the SQL query, and then it should come up with no results because it's not using the semantic layer to search through the vector database semantically. So just as I suspected, it's saying that there is no time off policy in your vector database. If we're just going to check the SQL query here, it's actually looking for time off in the actual keyword search. So just as I suspected, it's not going to show up how a normal RAG solution would semantically search through the documents. So we're going to try one last question to demonstrate the pitfalls of the current approach. How do we handle customer refunds? So in the documents within my vector database, refunds aren't actually keywords that is not a keyword that's in the document itself. It uses reimbursements and returns. So just as I suspected, the Cowork is not going to retrieve the exact documents or the information that I'm looking for. And if we check the SQL query for what the process actually went through, we see that it also came up with a limit of only 20, right? So not only does the SQL query only limit itself on the type of keyword search or strings that it is allowed to search for in the database, but there's also a limit as far as how far back in the rows it's going to look for that. So this is also introducing a scale problem where, let's say your business has a knowledge base that is filled with 5,000 or even 10,000 PDF files worth of documents. You're going to run into some issues if you're just using this simple out-of-the-box solution that connects Cowork to your Supabase instance. So 3 things just happened. Question 1 looked fine because the keyword matched. Question 2 failed because your docs use different words than your question. Question 3 failed because there's no way to rank results when you're matching keywords. And here's the part that matters. The first question made you think that it was working. The second and third showed you that it wasn't. And that's the dangerous part. The native connector doesn't fail loudly, it fails quietly, and it gives you a confident sounding answer built on keyword overlap, not on what your documents actually mean. Your team trusts it, they make decisions from it, and they never know what it missed. With 10 documents, it kind of works, but with 10,000, 5,000, which is most businesses, right? It's useless. And you can't tell which answers were right and which ones were invented from a keyword that happened to appear from an unrelated doc. And that's the real cost. Not visible failure, invisible failure. What we're building is the retrieval layer. The native connector reads your data. These edge functions understand it and it finds the chunks that mean the same thing, not just the ones that say the same thing. That's the entire difference, and that's why this video exists. If all you need is Claude writing SQL to the native connector, that's great. If you need Claude to actually retrieve meaning from your documents, you need these next few minutes. So there are some prerequisites before you start building this. Of course, you're going to need Cowork access. You're going to need OpenAI API keys for the embeddings. And then also you're going to have to connect your Supabase account to your Claude. So that's just as simple as connecting the connectors here and then doing a login through the Claude. And then the last thing is also you're going to need a Supabase vector store. So if you don't have the vector database, in the description, I have a free tool that'll actually give you insight as to which and how to build your vector database depending on the types of documents you have. So make sure to check that out and then create the Supabase and then come back to the video to continue. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to give Claude a prompt to check our Supabase project and give it an understanding as to what type of documents are there in the table, and then look at the type of embedding to make sure that whatever edge function that we create is going to match up with that. So I've already created prompts that I'll also share. And what I'm going to change here is the actual project URL. And when you're in Supabase, when you're on your home screen of your project, all you have to do to find the project URL is just copy this and then paste it right here. So we're going to send this query. And then what this does is just build some of the context for Claude to build exactly the edge functions that it needs based on the current dimensions and embedding model that we have in our current Supabase account. So after that, we got a bunch of information that gave us exactly the types of embeddings, the tables, columns, vector column type, and also the row count. And also importantly, it gave us the actual text embedding model that we use from OpenAI. So the next point, we're going to paste this query where we're ready to actually build the edge functions because the context is already built into Claude and it has everything it needs, right? So the two edge functions that we're going to create are match documents. Basically looks at the query embedding with match count and also an optional metadata filter to look through the top K most similar chunks. And then the second edge function is going to be a list document sources, which returns distinct values of metadata like the source and the chunk count for each. So all we have to do is send this query. And then since we already have the connector of Supabase connected to our Claude account, it's able to create those edge functions and apply the migration without us actually typing any code, which is super cool. So on that last one, I meant to say helper function, not edge function. But anyways, now we're actually deploying the edge function, the first one. So the next prompt is going to be deploying the search documents edge function, which is essentially going to search through the documents and return anything that is going to match our query string, right? So this is the prompt, like I said, and I'll also have this in the description that you can use to create your own. So it seems after this prompt, I was just asked by Claude some clarification on exactly what type of embedding, and this might happen. So just make sure you answer these as recommended by Claude. So at this point, the edge function has already been deployed. So let's just quickly verify that in our Supabase account. So we go to the side panel here, go to edge functions, and we see that the first search document edge function is already deployed, which is great. Also, by this point, you're going to want to navigate to OpenAI to grab your API key. So this is the page where you do that. And I'm not going to show my API key, but essentially what you do is create a new key, and then you'll name it whatever you want, and then you'll be prompted to save that. And then essentially you paste that over here with OpenAI key in all caps and the value pasted here. And then you hit save, and then it should appear here. So next, we're going to deploy the second edge function, which is query documents. And what this is going to do is allow us to list all the document sources and then do a count by and get document fetches by ID. So we have a general understanding of what documents are already in the vector database. So just paste this next prompt, and then Claude should be able to do this same exact process and create that edge function that we just saw. So once this is finished running and the edge function has been deployed, we're just going to go back to Supabase and verify that. So yeah, we see that query documents edge function is already deployed in our account. And at this point, make sure you also, like I said previously, add your OpenAI secrets in OpenAI key. Everything else here besides this MCP shared token is going to be populated by Claude itself. So the Supabase URL, anon key, and also the surface role key. You're going to have to populate the Supabase anon key yourself. So I'll just quickly show you where to get that. Going to go here, API keys, and then you're going to navigate to the second tab, which will allow you to reveal your new anon key, which you can paste in that tab. So at this point, we're going to go into Supabase and test the search documents edge function. So to do that, head over to edge functions, search documents, and we're going to this top right, test. And then what we're going to change here, first starting off with content type, and we're going to put application JSON. And then next, we're going to add the authorization and then bearer. And then this key that we're going to paste here is going to be the anon after we go to project settings and navigate there. So once you've pasted that, the last thing that we're going to change is the actual request body. So instead of name, we're going to add query, and then after functions, comma, and then match count 3. And they're going to put that in quotations as well. And then here where it says functions is where you're actually going to type in your query. So for my specific case, it's going to be, what are the code review requirements? So now we can send the test. And what we're looking for is a 200, which is what we got. And also going down to see what the similarity score was. So what we're looking for is a similarity score of over 0.45. And this is exactly what we received, 0.50, meaning that the query was finding semantically what type of chunks in the vector embedding that related to the query in the documents, which is perfect. And if you didn't get a similarity score that was over 0.45, just paste this prompt, says, I tested the search documents with this query, your query, and then this is the score I got about this topic. Does this look right, or should we have the model? Do we have a model mismatch? So this is going to point back to the vector embedding model that we tried to match and identify in the beginning. So you want to make sure that those two embedding models are matched up with the edge functions. So moving on, now we're going to deploy the MCP server that is essentially going to act as the binding layer between Supabase and also your Claude Cowork instance. So we're going to paste in this. So this is going to deploy a third edge function called MCP server. So naturally, you would want to use this via an HTTP, but since Claude Code only allows you to deploy connectors via MCP, this is what we're going to have to do with as a workaround to create the edge function for the MCP. So now that the MCP server edge function has run, we're just going to check that here and see that the MCP server is actually in one of the edge functions. So now the next step is going to take this endpoint, but before you do that, you're going to have to create an MCP shared token. So in Claude, just ask it to create an MCP shared token for you, and then use that token to then go into your secrets and then create MCP shared token and then paste that value here for this specific MCP shared token and then save. Because that token is what you're going to use at the end of this endpoint URL to connect to your MCP. So we're going to go to settings and then connectors here, and then scroll down and add custom connector. So you can name this, it doesn't really matter what you name it, but the important thing is that you paste that MCP server URL here and then add it. So once you've added it, you don't have to configure it. It should be working already. And now once you've deployed that and you've already configured that, what I like to do is create a separate project where I go here and create a new project. And then what I like to do is just give it a description as to what it should be doing, right? So what I'm telling it is just to use the MCP edge point for all the answers, so it automatically knows what tool it has. So I'm going to open this up. What we're going to do now is just test this in our own project. So we're going to ask it is, what do my documents say about code review requirements? So it's loading the tools that we already have. And if we check here, we actually see that in the connectors, the MCP edge point is already here. And what you want to do is just allow for this task or allow once. It's up to you, but I'm assuming that you'd want to allow it for whenever you're using this project. And we see that the connectors in the context, this has already been pulled up. So it's using the semantic search layer that we have. And also noting that, importantly, from the first time that we use this built out the box Supabase connection, it uses SQL query to find the document or to find the information in the document. But here, it only relied on the MCP edge point that we just created. And at the end, it also cites the documents and the chunks and all the ID and the sections in those specific documents. So that's 3 edge functions, 2 secrets, and 1 connector. Claude built the entire backend. You wired up the plumbing, and that's the whole system. I put together a doc with the exact prompts I gave Claude with every phase, and the ones that actually got clean deployments on the first try. The link's in the description. It's completely free. And if you don't have a vector store yet, the free assessment tool I mentioned earlier is also in the description. It'll tell you the cheapest way to stand one up for your specific documents. And if you're trying to roll this out across a whole team and you want someone to just build it for you, that's what we do at my agency. The link's in the description to book a free call. I'll see you in the next one.